Hi, Mallory. Thank you for joining me in the KIMA Action News studio. I wanted to ask you a couple of Christmas-themed questions here. Let's start off with, what is your favorite Christmas tradition and why?
Oh man, that's kind of hard because it's relation. I am from Florida, so many of our traditions are not as normal as everyone else's, where they go out and see the snow or lights. So we see lights, but we have palm trees. So our lights are on palm trees. They're not on a tree. So that's how we are down there and down south. But for my family, every Christmas Eve, we always watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And it's mostly because at that point, my mother's cooking Christmas Eve dinner, and the family's here, and AMC's always playing it. So we're always watching it, because we just need to laugh at that point. Because at that point, we're so stressed out, we're just like, we just want to laugh at something stupid, and we'll laugh at that. And that's probably one of our favorite traditions to do, because it happens every year without fail. Even though we sometimes try not to watch it, it still ends up being watched. Even with the years of football, and the past couple of years football's been on Christmas Day, we still somehow watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Whether it be at 7 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night, we're still watching it. So we always watch it every Christmas Eve.
Totally understand watching movies. Personally, I'm a Home Alone person.
I'm a Home Alone person, but I love Christmas Vacation. I like to laugh at Home Alone and Christmas Vacation.
All right, next question. What is your favorite Christmas food dish?
Oh man, Christmas food dish. That's kind of hard, because as I said, my mother cooks Christmas Eve, and she's Polish. So we have the meal of the 7 fishes, which is normally known as an Italian type meal, but we're Polish and we just make it ours. So she makes a ham, we have chicken, we have grouper, we have shrimp, we have anything you can imagine on meat. And then we have wax beans and crackers, which are my uncle and my mother's favorite from when they were kids. And then we have the carrots, the corn, all that stuff. We have all that. And like, to be honest, what I eat every year, I eat the shrimp, I eat the chicken, which is pretzel chicken. Thank you, Rachel Ray, for giving us that fabulous recipe years ago. It's my favorite chicken dish. And then I have the carrots and the corn, and then my mother also makes these stuffed mushrooms that she's famous for, which my father does not like when she makes them, because it sometimes smells up the house. But in the end, he still eats them, so he has no argument. But
what are they filled with?
They're filled with, this is what happens in the morning. She puts the bacon on the baking pan and a sheet over with the tinfoil covered, and puts it in the oven and cooks it in that, crisps it up in the oven over in the morning. And then by the end, she makes like 2 pounds of bacon, because 2 pounds of bacon go into it. Yes. Well, one pound goes into it, the other pound's for breakfast. She just makes it 2 pounds because it's just easier. But she puts the bacon, it's salami, there's, I think, sour cream. There's a lot of other stuff, and then there's the mushrooms. Mushrooms are stuffed, but the filling she makes in a food processor. And then I always remember helping her stuff them, because I would always pop the thing out of the mushrooms and have to clean them with her. And as she's stuffing them, because she's got a lot of things to do that day, so she would make the stuffed mushrooms, and I don't eat them, but they're a big favorite in my house.
It does, with the bacon, with the stuffed mushrooms, it does sound really
It's delicious, yeah.
What is the best present that you've ever received on Christmas?
Okay. The best present I've ever received was when I was in 6th grade, and this was back when I was younger, so I didn't have a phone then. The first phone I had was a flip phone. So that was which was my dad's old phone, which he had before he got his new phone for work. But my parents got me an iPhone. It's not this specific phone, because this is, of course, updated, but I got an iPhone 5C, the coral color. And I love it. And when I walked out of my room in that morning, my parents, they already had the phone activated. So my dad was calling it from his phone, and I just would hear the ringing. And they kept telling me to find it. They're like, find out where the ringing is. So I kept looking until I picked up the box, and I shook and I heard it. And then I opened it, and it was the phone, and then there was my mother recording, and I'm just like in shock that I got a phone, because I was surprised they bought me a phone, because I've been asking for a phone for 3 years, and I never got it. So I was surprised they got it for me. But that was like one of the best presents I've had. Of course, my parents are seeing this, so they're going to be like, no, you've had better presents. But that's one of my best presents I've ever had, is my phone.
I got you beat on ancient phones. My first real smartphone was a hand-me-down iPhone 3GS. It at the time it was wonderful, but I didn't receive it.
I had the old school iPod Touch back in the day.
Those were really, really good.
Yeah.
What is your best or favorite Christmas memory and why?
Oh man, Christmas memory? Well, years ago, my grandparents, they bring the Christmas presents on Christmas Eve because it's just easier because we always go to Christmas at my aunt's house because my mother's birthday is actually Christmas. So to make sure, so my mother's not cooking on Christmas, my aunt cooks on Christmas and we go to my aunt's house. And we're all live in Florida, so it's all really close. And my grandparents, instead of having to take the presents on Christmas Day, they just give it to us on Christmas Eve because in that way it's already at the houses and we're done. And they would always give my uncle a weird gift where like he had to fight for it to get into it. And the one year they got him Thresher tickets, but they made it like, which is the Threshers, which is the minor league team for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Oh, okay.
They're in Clearwater. So they made like a contraption of, you know how like we have the paper towel rolls, those like singles. They had a contraption like it was a wrapping paper roll, and they put a bunch of crap in it. Excuse my language. They put a bunch of stuff in it, and he got to the point where they were trying to rip it, how to get it out, and they're like, you have to whip it, you have to swing it. So he's in my family room, and mind me, my mother loves the Grinch, so the Grinch is everywhere in my house. As I like to say, the Grinch throws up in my house. We have Grinch crap everywhere. So we go over, and he's in the front room, and he is whipping this wrapping paper roll, whipping it, and then finally when the tickets fall out, it's just a piece of paper saying, hey, you got season tickets to the Treasures. And we all, because he's just like laughing, and he's like, really? And we're like, because us kids were like 5, 7 years old at this point. Well, me and my cousin Katrina, we were about 7 or 8, and my cousin Joel he's 4 years younger than us, so he's about 4 or 5 years old. And we're just watching we're like, because we want to swing it, because we're just like, ooh, because we're kids, we don't understand. But he keeps swinging it, and then the tickets come out, and his face, you can't forget it. It's like he was so surprised, and he was also like, I worked this hard for a piece of paper. It was just even funnier.
Who do you enjoy seeing the most during Christmas?
Who do I enjoy seeing the most?
Yes.
My family.
What specific family member?
I can't say a specific family member because this year's going to be the first year without my uncle. And the first year I'm not going to be with my family. So it's going to be a little rough. But I like being able to be with my family, and it'll be fun. It's the best part. But since I'm in Washington now, it's a little bit harder to get there in time for Christmas, but I'm going after. But it's still different. But I like being with my family.
I want to thank you for joining me in the KIMA Action News studio, Mallorie. Sorry for your loss. And I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, because I know you're heading back to Florida. I hope you have a wonderful time, and from everyone here at KIMA Action News, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.